Hi guys! Okay, so happy Easter to everyone. Today is Easter and hopefully I'll have this uploaded today. So happy Easter. Today I'm just going to be doing my hits and misses, and honestly I really don't have a lot. Most of this stuff is just repetitive and I forgot something. Great. I should go get that. Be right back. I forgot what I said before, but basically I really don't have a ton of products. I guess I'll just start off with the LORAC Pro Palette. I can understand the hype of it now. I've been using this nonstop. I didn't use it today, surprisingly, but I've been using it nonstop for just like, it's so easy for like everyday use. And I've seen, plus there's like a ton of tutorials on YouTube with it, and I've used them and they come out so perfect. I just love this palette. If you guys can see, I'm sure you guys have seen this a lot, but like, I guess I can mention some of my favorite colors. I use gold and champagne and pewter and garnet, light bronze, taupe, mauve, sable, and espresso. Those are probably the ones I use the most. I stay away from like the super dark ones and the super light ones. I like medium range, if that makes any sense. I don't really use espresso that much, usually just to deepen it a little bit, but it's lightly used. This is a really good palette. I definitely recommend it. If you're like iffy about it, if you have a ton of it, a ton of neutral shadows, you might not need this, but this is so easy for everyday use. And it's so thin. I like it, and then again I don't, because if it's so thin, I'm like afraid it's gonna run out right away. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully not, because I use this a lot already. We'll see. I bought these two mascaras because I ran out of my Benefit They're Real, and it's $23, and I was like, I'm gonna try something else from the drugstore. There's like a little piece of dust flying. It's so expensive. I'm just like, I'm going to try something from the drugstore to see if there's something better. And I bought the Maybelline Falsies Volume Express and the Maybelline Illegal Links. I like them. I don't think they compare to the Benefit They're Real. Then again, I should have known that, but some people like rave about these, saying that they're like so much better than like some of the high-end ones. So I figured, I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to go repurchase my Benefit They're Real because these do not compare. I'm just like so frustrated sometimes. I'm like, my lashes look so dull. And this one would just make them so like just big and beautiful. I don't know how to explain it. I just really like the Benefit They're Real. So when I have extra money left over, I'm going to go out and repurchase this because it's a really good mascara. These are good. They're not great. This is a great mascara. And there's that. I think I mentioned this in my last hits and misses, the Revlon Whipped foundation. But at that point, I was still kind of like getting back into it slowly. Like, I wasn't using it constantly. I've been using it really constantly, and I'm kind of running low on it. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's getting to past the kind of dent, and a little bit past the dent, you can see. But it's a pretty good foundation. I think maybe it was because my skin tone wasn't the exact match for it at that time. I feel like right now it matches my skin tone like almost perfectly. So it's so easy to wear. I just really like this foundation. And I think it also just depends on how much you apply on it. When I applied it with my finger, like dab it and then blend it out, I feel like I applied too much. When I just like tap the brush in there and then kind of dab it, I feel like I apply less. I don't really understand how that works, but I apply like I apply enough where it's not heavy coverage and not light coverage either. It covers enough and it's not super thick. So I just dab it with the brush. A lip color that I've been liking, and I'm really picky. I think I've mentioned this before in the hits and misses as well. This is by MAC. I think it's the only MAC lipstick I have ever had. This is in I Love Winter, and it's from one of their winter collections. I really don't remember which one. It's just like this nudie pink. And I am really picky with pinks. Like, I'm surprised I even like this. Even right now, I feel like it's a little too pink for me. Excuse me. I just realized I'm chewing gum. I'm really picky with pinks. Even right now, I feel like it looks a little too pink for me, and I try to like sheer it out with a really light lip gloss, but I still really like this. I think it just depends, again, on my skin tone at the time. Like sometimes I feel like it just doesn't look good with my skin, and sometimes I feel like it looks really good. So like right now, I feel like in the transitioning, I'm like starting to get a little darker, but it's not like super dark. You know, I feel like it looks good with my skin tone right now. So there's that. And then another lip product, I think I mentioned this in my other hits and misses as well, but I had just purchased it. This is the Nivea lip butter in Raspberry Rose Kiss, and I'm sure this has been going on YouTube for a little while. First of all, it smells amazing. The only thing I don't like is that if you apply too much, it makes your lips look kind of white. So I would definitely, but I like when it's such a soft consistency, like so buttery soft. I like kind of putting enough. I don't really like putting a sheer layer. I like to put it on pretty well, but then it feels like too much and it makes my lips look all white, and then I'm just like, ugh, I need to find my happy medium. But it's still a really good product. Just make sure you know how much you're applying. It's really good and it smells amazing. Last thing, and it's not really a product, it's more like a technique that I feel like everyone should know except for me. Apparently I didn't know about this until now. And I've seen people do it on YouTube, and I don't know, I just never caught on to it. And then I finally tried it, and I'm like, oh my god, this works! And it's basically when you apply your concealer, I felt like mine would crease like crazy. And even though I would powder my face, and then I would like get extra powder on the side. I would get extra powder on my kabuki brush, and I would like kind of dab it in there. But I felt like it would still crease. So now what I've been doing, I've been using a blending brush and grabbing some of my HD, whatever, finishing powder, or whatever powder you have. You don't really have to use it. I'm just showing an example. Whatever powder you use, just use like a smaller brush, any eye brush. You can. Sometimes I use a regular shader brush, or most of the time I just use this blending brush, and just like tap the powder on top of your concealer. If you use a big brush, I feel like it's still going to crease because you're not going to get enough powder on there. It's happened to me countless times. And then when I tried this technique, it like, sometimes it does crease a tiny bit, but it has never been as bad as when I just use the kabuki brush. Like when I use a kabuki brush, I get like really, really bad creases. Like really big, really noticeable, really bad. Well, not super noticeable, like you have to be pretty close. But they're noticeable to me, and I just never liked it. And when I started using this, like, tiniest, like, it's like where your eye lines are, it just looks a little more prominent. Tiny bit, but you have to, like, look. I have to, like, really look in the mirror to see them. So they're not noticeable to anyone else except for when I'm, like, super looking in the mirror. So I think that is a great technique to be using if you have issues with that. I see people do it on tutorials and all over YouTube, and I just never did it before, and I don't know why. Now that I do it, I love it, and I feel like it looks so much better, and I have like practically no creasing under my eyes. So I definitely recommend that. And I think that's it for all my products. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!